The number of people has never been an issue for us because we work with a small atom that runs itself, that has a self-management rationale. If you stop to think about army battalions, which are 10 people, basketball teams or soccer teams, or you look in any area of life, church groups and so forth, family groups that are close together, nobody is able to work with more than 6, 8, 10 people. And so we break that up into this atom. So if we have 5,000, we actually have 500 groups of 10 people. And they have their own self-management where we say, you find the product, the service, the profitability that will keep you going. And don't worry about the fact that there are others because they won't interfere in your life. I think Catera themselves, no. First, because there are other players starting to emulate them, like Amazon with plant prefab, for example, which is another factory. But their rationale is, I have a big factory, I try to customize the product, I build the parts, I then ship this across the country, and then I erect it in place very quickly. 2 days, 10 days, doesn't matter. But this one has a basic problem associated with it. Is one, it's very expensive to send a full house very, very far, so you need to have many smaller units so that these smaller units people can compete with, on the one hand. And on the second hand is the amount of variability that you can have in a plant is still very limited. So if I want a completely different type, if I want this kind of a ceiling and so forth, I'm going to have a flexibility that that plant is not going to have. So just factory-made houses I don't think is the answer. I think the answer is more of a prefabricated mentality of modular homes, which breaks this very long cycle of real estate, which is not going to be able to survive, taking 6 to 8 years from the day someone sees the land to the day you give a key to the owner. That cannot survive anymore. So that disruption is going to come, but I don't think it'll come from any of these players alone. We've started from the very beginning asking people like this: what is it you're going to do with us, for us, that we can contract with you? Once we contract that, how many hours they work, where they work is none of our business, and we're not interested. And so we don't monitor their holidays and amount of days. We don't monitor whether they came to work on Monday or not. We don't monitor whether they worked 8 hours or 12 hours. And so they figure this out in a self-managed way. And so someone will agree with someone else, can you do this for me Monday because I'm going to ski through Monday night. And I'm not going to come back with all the traffic. And so we're thinking that as people make smarter decisions about their work-life balance, this smarter decision has to come as productivity for us in the end, and it does. Every 6 months, each business group of 10 people, these self-managed groups, they write down on a piece of paper the people they think they need for the next 6 months. If you have one person there who is a very good salesman, especially good salesman, and he works 2 days a week, and you work 5, do you want to get rid of your best salesman? And so the answer is, it doesn't really matter in the end. It's how many days you take to do things, and you keep yourself going. Now, if somebody else can do it with less time or takes the whole weekend to do it, is none of your concern. Just the question is, do you need this person in the next 6 months or not? And on a rolling basis, some of these people have been there, most of these people have been there for 20, 25 years. I think the real estate sector is stuck in a process which is very, very old. It takes a long time to do because you have to find, if you think of the whole process, you have to find the land, you have to negotiate the land, you have to find a master planner, you have to find architects, you have to have the municipality approve it, then you need a construction company that does the infrastructure, then you need another one that takes 2 years to build. You don't know how many of these you're going to sell. It's crazy. If I take any real estate company and I think, let me look at the last 30 years, and we look at all the ups of what you did and all the downs of the bad cycles, what's left there? Is it much better than to have given that to a good investment bank and just sat there in the sun in the beach for that long? Most real estate companies do not pass that test. So how to make that better in the future is by modulating these ups and downs. And I think that the answer to that is that you have more people in the business who know or who have intuition than the owner, than the two people who make a decision about buying land or making a impulsive decision about we can do this. Normally it's not true. You cannot do this in the time you thought for the value you thought. And so I think the big lesson is ask more people who have intuition and who know, and be more careful. Choose out of those projects the 1, 2 that are really worth it and you have certainty, because the third and the fourth and the sixth projects are the ones that kill you and that distract you tremendously. Our rationale is this: the number of good or bad ideas that need to be executed by someone is too great for our capacity to choose and to filter them. So we say, try investment bankers, try VCs, try angel funders, try other people. If you can't find anybody whatsoever that will give you the money, there's something wrong. Either with your ability, it could be your ability to convince people, and maybe it's a good idea. But the amount of times that we can go wrong is much too great for us to say, I know that nobody wanted to back it, but we will. Because we also have no idea whether it's a good idea. And so we've made many bets that have been completely wrong, even in this system, and companies that we've had to close down. And we've given up on 2 or 3 businesses that would have been dramatically good. But in the end, over the years, it is the mix of what's left of that that's really important to the company as a whole.